Chapter 6, Village. Alek and Exil started their journey to the Timber Village. It's not the actual name of that village, it got this name because it is located between small hills surrounded by timber trees. People from different villages started living there as it provided safety from wild animals and it was a bit far from the mythical forest. It is a long journey of 1 day or so. Exil announced that he will only teach those who are willing to learn. That's why not too many soldiers are with them, only about 500 or so. Most of them are young men who wish to improve themselves. Although, beating the twin dragons was not a child's play, but still most of the soldiers think that Exil fought cowardly. When Exil woke up he noticed a bandage on his wounds but didn't know who did it. "It was my girlfriend, she's coming with us even though I told her not to," Alek explained. "Thank her for me." Alek was surprised, because he doesn't expect thanks from Exil. "You can do that yourself as we are not talking, we had a fight." "I don't know why she is so bossy," Alek said, shaking his head. "Where is the kid?" Exil asked. "He is in another cart behind us, sleeping like a log." "It must be difficult for him, after all he is a no-name." "What is a no-name?" Exil inquired. "I am not answering any questions unless you answer some of mine," Alek said. After some time Exil asked, "Where are we?" "I told you I am not answering any questions," Alek replied. Exil, ignoring Alek's reply, asked another soldier riding a horse beside them. "I think we are halfway from our destination, sir. We will rest here for a while, our horses need some rest." When they stopped, Alek's girlfriend came into their cart. She was in another cart with food and supplies. She's a brown-eyed, fair-skinned, petite-bodied woman with long white hair which she has dyed and tied into braids. She was wearing normal common clothes. "Oh. You are awake, good, I was worried." She totally ignored Alek and didn't seem to be intimidated by Exil. "So, she is your bossy girlfriend?" Exil asked Alek. "Bossy? In a household someone has to act like an adult. If you call it bossy is simply childish," she taunted, which made Exil smile a bit. He was amused to see Alek losing his composure. "What do you want to ask me?" Exil asked with a stern voice. "Are you guys playing question for a question?" Sylvia asked with a smile. It was a game that Alek and Sylvia invented when they fight. The rules are simple: if one asks a question, other one had to answer truthfully. That was a way of keeping conversation which eventually patched things up between them. Sylvia came up with the idea because Alek doesn't talk when he gets angry. Sylvia explains the game and Exil agreed. After all, he has some questions of his own. "You can't lie, you know," Alek confirmed. "Hell, I can't lie even if I want to," Exil replied with a half-smile on his face. "I noticed that people of your clan don't seem to like you much. Even that day they were all cheering for the prince as if they wanted you to suffer. Are you not one of them?" Alek asked. Exil was quiet for a second and then replied. "It's not a big secret, they don't like me, and yes, I am not one of them, at least that's what they think of me. I was banished from the clan." Alek realized that even though he answered the question, but he didn't give any extra information. "Now my turn, why do some people here like someone and hate others?" Exil questioned. "People don't like when someone of lower status surpasses them," Alek answered. "But you didn't answer my question?" "Why?" Exil demanded. Alek realizes that even though Exil seems carefree, but there is more to him than it seems. Which means he can't give useless answers. "Well, it's because of the names. They represent us, tell who we are, and our status in society. You may have noticed that the people who are of higher status, like royals, have 4 names like King Soleiman D. Vol Silver. 3 names are for nobles like Seals D. Crown. On the other hand, 2 names are for the commoners like me, Alek Strom or Sylvia Robert, and single name or slaves. They are those who can't live on their own or don't have any family, so they are living under someone else's expense and shelter. But I think the system today is so corrupt that people love to buy them for amusement. They are equivalent to pets, I know, because I was once a slave. Lastly, there are no names that mean that they are even lower than slaves. That boy is a no-name, so it's common that no one bothers him. Alec explained and then asked. I see that you have a slave mark on your head. Only royal slaves have those, so they can't run from their masters. Also, how did the member of the Dragon Clan become a slave of royalty? That doesn't make sense. There are 2 questions, but it's okay, I will give you answers as a favor, said Exil. But before he could answer, Alec burst out, do not play games with me. I know the trick in which you give something valuable with something useless, like Lionheart healed the whole nation which is valuable and then gave a general which is not even needed, who is not a member of the Dragon Clan, weakest of them all and top of that a slave. It's how White King worked. There is no doubt that he trained both of you, I just don't know to what end. Exil laughed and said, you do observe the White King well. Oh yes, I was a slave of the White King, but it was because I chose to be. You think Dragon Clan is some noble clan? Well, they are just like you people. There are 4 clans who join to make the Dragon Clan. Lionheart belongs to the head clan and is considered a top clan, then there is the right wing clan, the left wing clan, and then the tail clan. They are all rivals and continuously fight to overcome each other. It's just that they can't change their names or position, they fight with each other to know who is the best. I belong to the Hook family, which is a forgotten clan. My family is hated by all the clans just because we decided not to fight. They dislike us because those stupid clans think that Wise Man taught them the art of fighting so they could slay us if another dragon shows up. They keep fighting and honing their skills. They think that their fighting style is the ultimate and didn't improve a bit, just the same old tricks. Alec was shocked to know Exil's thoughts about his own people. Now, I have a question for you. How did the prince heal when he was unconscious? Exil asked. Prince Light? Twin dragons can heal each other at an unreal speed. Alec told, thinking why he asked such an obvious question. Everybody knows that the royal family could heal themselves in an instant. It's so fast that if the sword passes right through them, it would even didn't give them a scratch. White King and Twin Dragon fall in this category, others are fairly fast, but not like them. After a long journey, they reached the village. It was a sight to behold. It was located in the center of small hills, around 20 feet tall, and surrounded by dense tall timber trees. The villagers had their farming land towards the south of the village, and on the north lies the mythical Forest of Lost, emerging with the timber trees. The village has a population of around 600 people, men and women. Alec noticed that the villagers are not very welcoming to the people from the kingdom. They pretend as if they didn't see them and hesitate to talk to any of the soldiers. The soldiers camp outside the village as the village doesn't have any facility that can accommodate that many soldiers. The next day, Alec starts asking people about wolves, but they are not willing to talk. In the middle of the day, he noticed a crowd and went to see the matter. There is an old man sitting, telling them a story. So that's how half of the world was destroyed and the wise man started living in the forest. After defeating the dragon, he became the new king of the world. All the mythical beasts were under his command. Although all the mythical creatures feared him, but one of them started following him. Nobody knows why and how, but they were the first who accepted him as a king. They attended to him and bring food for him. Soon they made a bond, so he gives them a gift, the power of magic, and hence a new breed of wolves come to be, the majestic wolves. The magnificent beasts are as tall as humans, and they are so powerful that you can even use them like horses. They can easily rival mythical beasts. After all of that time, the wise man decided to live with the humans, but he knows that majestic wolves are too much for humans. After all, they could be killed by just getting under their paws. He knows that the beasts would follow him everywhere, so he did something unexpected. He made them humans, and after some training, he took them with him to live amongst the humans. After some time, the wise man noticed the tension between humans and the beasts. One day, when the wise man came back from the forest, he saw something horrible. A fight broke out and wolves almost killed all the humans, only some kids survived. In rage and anger, he banished the wolves from the human land and named them werewolves as they were wolves wearing human skin. Some wolves tried to stop all the fighting and fought for humans. They refused to go back. But their power made them dangerous. So, the wise man took away all the power from them and make a new helper for men in the form of dogs. That's how dogs came to be, one of the kids asked. Yes, most definitely. I even fought a mythical wolf once, and he bit my leg. The old man then shows his leg and a huge chunk is missing from his calf. But you said that you sacrifice it in your fight with bandits in last week's story, the little boy said, and everyone laughs. The old man was living on the streets for years and told stories to the kids in return for food or money. People stop there to hear his story, but no one takes him seriously because they think he is a junkie. According to his own story, he tried fairy dust to gain powers, but that backfired and he was hooked. People listen to his stories only because it is the only entertainment in the village, and they called him a stupid old man. It's been a week since Axel started the basic training. Soldiers have doing it for some time now and we're waiting to get to the next step. Axel observes them practice, but mostly he was asleep. Another unusual thing was that he was never seen in his camp at night. Everything seems fine, except that after 2 or 3 days a new group of people arrives and start living in tents near the village because the wolves attacked their villages and destroyed them. They heard of soldiers there, so they came to the village. Soon, new problems arose. Food was not enough for them and the crime rate starts rising. Soldiers were trying their best to keep things under control, but that was not enough. One exceptionally dark night, everyone was asleep when the silence broke with someone's screams. It was so loud and horrifying that the chills went down the spine. The villagers with soldiers ran towards the horrifying screams. When they reached there, they were shocked by the gruesome sight. It was like someone painted the street red with blood. They decided to follow the blood trail, but the silence was broken again and someone started screaming. This time it was coming from the other end of the village. To their horror, when they reached there, they saw the same situation. Then again someone started screaming. This time it was coming from the fields and the soldiers again encountered the same sight. It didn't happen again, but the soldiers and the villagers couldn't sleep that night. Thank you for reading and stay tuned for the next chapter coming next weekend. Share your feedback in the comments.